What's going on, guys? It's Luke22SV here, and welcome back to the career mode today, here for the 19th round of Season 2, here for the US Grand Prix. Off the back of a win in Mexico, our first win for Red Bull. Our second win of the season, though, so following it up from our previous win at Toro Rosso back in Italy. A good result, though, for us, though, heading into a track where we did not do well last season. A track that we do not enjoy at all, so it could be a tough one this weekend. So, yeah, really up against it. But yeah, our car's looking good. We're getting closer to the top two teams now, which is McLaren and Mercedes. McLaren don't seem to have too much actual pace when it comes to the races and qualifying, but Mercedes actually still seem quite dominant in that respect. But we're looking good, though. Apart from this track's pretty much a bogey track for us. So as you can see, we're down at P18, which is well, we're hoping for a little bit better than that. So coming on to our best lap so far, then. Well, this should hopefully be our best lap, so we should surely be doing better than P18. Just only ahead of Danny Kvyat and one other car. A little bit of a slight corner cut there and another one there. Not really gaining us any time, though. Just, yeah, still down on our actual previous time, which has put us in P18. So we need a huge effort now if we want to actually move up the order. Because currently we're going to get a bit of a slap in the face if we end up this far down the order with the car that we've got. But yeah, locking up there as well, which isn't going to gain us too much time, but we actually are up by quite a bit on our previous lap time, so hopefully there's room for improvement, and hopefully this takes us up the order. Wherever it puts us, it remains to be seen, but yeah, for still, it's just not looking too good at the moment, with this track being our bogey track. So if we can get a good lap time, maybe top 10 is what we're hoping for at this point. But we are green, though, in Sector 2, so we're up on our previous time, and we just need to come around the last couple of corners now, get a good end to this lap, and we should be, hopefully, in the top 10. But that's really all we're hoping for, and then we've just got to try and soldier on in the race, and hopefully we can get some points and do well at our bogey track, which we did not do well at last season. So come around the last corner then, and we're going to complete our lap time, and it's going to put us into P4. And it's actually beaten our objective as well, so actually very surprised when I crossed the line it was P4. I was not expecting that, so very happy with that, although Verstappen did out-qualify us by a couple of attempts. But yeah, we cannot really have too many complaints about that. Four Brits in the top 5 rather. So yeah, all the Brits doing well. Russell a little bit down the order though, but throw back to a bit of Silverstone where we had all the Brits pretty much in the top 6 of the top 6 pretty much. But now we head on to the race then, starting from P4. Hopefully we can have a good race today. I'd imagine it's going to be quite a difficult one, being we're in Austin and perhaps the race pace isn't going to be too good for us either. But, well, anything can happen, and hopefully we can do something from P4. Maybe just keep hold of our position for Verstappen in P2. Maybe he can go for the win today. But, yeah, there you can see the Red Bull is actually improving, though. But here we go. Here's the grid order, then, for the US Grand Prix. And we're going to see how it's lining up, plus penalties. But Hamilton's still on pole, Verstappen still second. So, Verstappen's still up there alongside him. So, Red Bull, we're still trying to chase McLaren. Butler third, and myself fourth ahead of Norris. And Lucas Weber Perez ahead of Leclerc. And then Gasly and Vettel. And then comes Stroll, Hulkenberg. And then Magnussen, and then Albon, and Russell, Ricciardo, and then Bottas having a penalty, Sainz, and Kvyat and Giovinazzi. So the Haas is actually improving recently then, by the looks of it. They were normally down there with the Renaults, but slowly rejoining the midfield by the looks of it. But now then, we've got to come on to those 5 red lights, and we're going to get away here in USA, and it's lights out, and away we go. And it's actually a fairly good start as well there, but unfortunately, of course, the AI just have such a better kick-off, and Weber diving down the inside of us into turn 1, and there's contact with myself and Weber. We're up into P2, so a very good start for ourselves. We got past Max Verstappen and Devon Butler there. So now we're chasing Hamilton, going through the S's, and it's looking very good so far from the start of here. And we're going to challenge down the inside of Lewis Hamilton and take the lead of this race then. So we're taking the lead of the US Grand Prix on lap 1. But if you didn't hear then, the engineer just said that we've got unnecessary wear to the gearbox, and we haven't actually changed the gearbox in a long time. So I've got a really old gearbox, so we're going to have to watch out for that. But at the moment, we're leading this race then from Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. A great start, the best possible start. We'll have to look to see what happened with Weber. He dived down the inside, there was contact, We were diving down the inside too. Perhaps we just pinched him a little bit there. But Hamilton then coming on the outside. Is he going to be able to retake the lead here? We're on the inside, so a bit more contact there as we sort of do a Rosberg of Austria 2016 on him there. But Verstappen taking P2, so it's a Red Bull 1-2 at the moment. Although Hamilton fighting back. But Red Bull 1-2 is just showing how much our upgrades have worked. Locking up and almost going massively wide into that left-hander there. It almost allows Verstappen to try and come alongside us. But still, you can see how we're struggling around this track so far on the early stages of this race. On lap 1, we've just got a load of cars that are probably quicker than us at this point. A really slow lap 1. You can see a massive train of cars. Verstappen chasing us. But here's the replay then of the start. You can see we've got a good launch, but everyone else just kicks off much quicker. And then you can see Weber going down the inside of us. We're looking to go down the inside as well. We got down the inside of both McLaren and my teammate. So that's good news for us in the constructors battle. We need to get close to those McLarens if we want to get P4. I mean, there's not really much to play for. I mean, P4 and P5 makes no difference really in the grand scheme of things. But I guess it's just a bit of bragging rights, I guess. But Red Bull shouldn't really be down in P5 or P4 in the first place. But that's what we're going to be aiming towards next season, perhaps going for the title next season. But there you can see that overtake on Lewis Hamilton there. Here's the onboard then from Lucas Weber. He tried to dive down the inside of us into turn 1. We weren't really having any of it, but he just decided to turn in onto the grass and reverse back onto the track. Slightly dangerous, but yeah, a load of the cars that have already stopped anyway. But he's down at the back with Bottas there, who's had a poor start in one of the Renaults as well, where it's usually 2. Here's the replay from Hamilton then, going through the S's. He was just going a bit slowly here, so we just managed to find a way down the inside. He still turned in even though we were there. That's a bit of a problem with the AI that they've seemed to have got. But yeah, nonetheless, we took the lead. Hamilton tried to fight back though into this left-hander before the overtaking straight. But now then, moving back onto lap 2. Verstappen chasing us as we move into turn 1. He goes to the outside, we're on the inside. So we're looking to try and defend this lead from Verstappen. But if he gets close enough, maybe it's probably a good idea to let him go and try and keep everyone else behind. Perhaps conserve a Red Bull 1-2, which is maybe the best idea for the team. But if we could get another win in a row, a second win in a row, that would be really good for ourselves. But at the moment, I think we're actually number 2 driver, and Verstappen is quicker than us at the moment, so maybe it would be sensible to let him pass. But here he is, he's looking down the inside, and he actually gets past us on the inside there as well. So now we're fighting back. We're trying to have basically a drag race up towards the next corner. We go wheel to wheel there, very close. Verstappen getting ahead of us now on the inside there. You can see on the outside Hamilton there as well, so he goes to the outside as well. You can see Devon Butler on the outside as well, so it's almost 4 abreast. But we are the last of the late breakers into that corner, retake the lead. Hamilton takes second again, so Verstappen almost had first, ends up dropping down to third. So we have the lead back again. We take the inside line into that corner, perhaps the worst possible line we could have took then. But Hamilton all over the back of us. So there you can see a battle hotting up for the lead of this race. And now we're going to come through to end lap 2, still in the lead. But is it only a matter of time before we lose this position? Our front left and front right is heating up as well. Those tyres are going to cause us a bit of understeer. So now we're going to try our best to absolute defend this lead from Hamilton, who goes down the inside. Hulkenberg sitting the fastest lap in the Haas, so has to really have some sort of pace, or is it just that it's going so slowly up front? We re-dive down the inside of Hamilton though, who tries to take the lead away from us. Verstappen then taking second away, so it's all kicking off at the early stages of this US Grand Prix, and now just trying to conserve that lead as possible, and then coming through the S's, we opened it up a little bit to over a second. So if we're out of DRS, can we perhaps pull away and watch those guys fight over second and third whilst we pull off into the distance? But it doesn't look like it. You can see Verstappen already catching back up to us. We just simply don't have the pace around this track, and we just got really lucky in qualifying and managed to put it into P4. So now Verstappen, who with DRS now activated, it should almost be easy prey for him, but he's not actually getting close enough despite having the same engine. Now he's getting close, but it seems to be a bit too late as we've hit the corner now, and we're still in the lead, still have the inside line. And you can see Devon Butler's now got up to first, so Hamilton starting to go backwards perhaps in this race. I wonder why that is, but yeah, it doesn't really affect him too much. He's got a title wrapped up a few races ago, so he could literally just sit out for a few races. But now we've got some problems with our gearbox, and we're struggling to get through the gears now. And this is going to cause us real problems here if we want to retake the lead. We let Verstappen go. We got the problems with our gearbox. It's just taken too long to actually shift. When we actually try to shift, it takes a delayed reaction. So now Butler, is he going to get past us too? Yeah, the gear changes are slower. This is really going to set us back as well. We dived back down the inside of Devon Butler, but you can see the gap Verstappen's got already. He's just flying off into the distance, and this is a disaster. Why haven't we got a new gearbox in this car? I believe the gearbox should be changed around this time anyway. So round 18 was the Mexican race, so we should have had a new gearbox if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it's every 5 races I think actually, so it might be after Brazil. But yeah, we've got some gearbox issues here, and this is really costing us dear in this race. We had to let Verstappen go, so he's going to be off into the distance, and it's the best possible scenario for Red Bull if we want to catch up to McLaren and take P4 away from them. But at the moment, yeah, you can see this huge train of cars. Hamilton going to the outside now. You can actually see Hamilton's got a bit of front wing damage, which has perhaps set him back a little bit. I don't know if that was from me or Verstappen, but he has been fairly close to both of us in the first few laps of this race. But lap 4 of this race, and it looks like we are in big trouble here. We just hope these gearbox issues can go. And now we've got some wear to the ICE, so the engine, we're going to be down on power as well as this massive gearbox issue here. So we're trying to get through these corners. We end up getting exceeded track limits there. But at the moment, it's just such a difficult race. It was actually looking quite well around our bogey track, and now Hamilton's actually not causing us too many problems with his front wing damage. So it's probably the best possible car to have behind us at this point, as he goes to the outside instead of the inside. So we're able to defend quite comfortably there and keeping hold of this position. But I'm surprised that we're still in P2 despite having these gearbox issues. It's a miracle really that we're still here. But yeah, surely it's only a matter of time. We're struggling like mad. You can see Verstappen is 5.5 seconds down the road already, and he's only just got past us. I think it was last lap, to be fair. So yeah, power output down again from our engineer telling us that we got some wear to the engine. But yeah, that's the least of our worries right now. Surely Hamilton and Butler are going to get past us on this straight. I mean, surely they got to get past. I mean, the problems we got with the gearbox was in gear 7 now, but now we go into gear 8. Butler's going to the outside. He probably should have gone to the inside there. There would have been plenty of room down the inside for him to get past both of us. But he's bottled that one a little bit. He's still in P4. But now we're still in P2. And you can see the train of cars behind us. Somehow we're hanging on to this position at the moment. So yeah, I think Verstappen's pretty much won this race now, if he doesn't have any issues with his car. So we've done him a massive favour there. But yeah, I think that'll be his first win of the season as well, if I'm not mistaken. But coming through now towards the end of this lap, we're still hanging on. But now it seems the gearbox issues has repaired itself, because now we've seen back to normal, and we're starting to pull away a little bit from Hamilton. So now moving on to lap 6. Now there's yellow flags as well. So we've got some issues there behind us, yellow flags. Butler's got past Hamilton as well. So we were actually, just before those yellow flags came out, we said we'll pit this lap, and he said to our engineer we'll pit this lap. Pierre Gasly's out of the race though, so he took my seat in the Toro Rosso and got some reliability issues. I took his seat in the Red Bull and got some reliability issues in this race. But the virtual safety car is out. We wanted to pit this lap anyway. I think our scheduled pit stop was actually next lap, so we decide, rather coincidentally, the virtual safety cars come out. So this could gain us a lot of time actually. Maybe put us back in the hunt with Verstappen, but he seems to be a little bit too far ahead. But it should certainly keep us away from Butler for the time being. If he's got more pace than us, that is, we should be fine. So getting those medium tyres on, we're going to be out of the pits. So a little bit of a delay there, despite having a 1.8 second pit stop. There's a bit of a frustrating thing on this game. It's still a little bit of a delay. I don't know if that was my fault or whether it's the game being at fault there. But we're coming out of the pits now. We're in P19 and last. But we can see Danny Kvyat just ahead of us. Lucas Weber as well. But I think it was Antonio Giovinazzi there in the Renault. So Coming out on these tyres, we've got a little bit of traffic to deal with, but yeah, for some reason we got one more scheduled pit stop. I don't know if that's the engineer just don't know why he's telling us we need to pit again. We definitely won't need to pit again, but now already we can see these new fresh tyres doing us fine work here and getting us close enough to Danny Kvyat, but we don't want to lose any chunks of front wing trying to get past these cars. Definitely don't want to be damaged, because we're on for a good result at the moment. We're on for P2 and a 1-2 for Red Bull around the track where I wouldn't even expect to be anywhere near the podium, let alone on it. So if we can get a good result around here, we'll take it for sure. But now we got ERS activated to hot lap mode for a bit and then turned it back down to low. So the Williams has actually pulled away from us a little bit. You can see the Alfa Romeo actually seems to be holding up Giovinazzi for some reason. Maybe Weber's got a bit of front wing damage too. So yeah, something seems to be wrong with him. Although I think Weber actually did come back from last. So we dived back down the inside of Danny Kvyat though. A fairly easy move, but he could have easily turned in on us though and cost us some front wing damage, as they tend to do in this game. But we managed to get the move stick, and now all the way close enough to Giovinazzi already. You see Lucas Weber as well. So for some reason Weber hasn't got the pace in this race. So yeah, now we got DRS. Giovinazzi got DRS. So he's going to be trying to get past Lucas Weber, but actually Weber pulling away from the Renault. So seems to be a bit of an issue with the Renault in a straight line. Maybe the Renault's just not quick in a straight line. Probably part of the reason why it's at the back of the grid in almost every race. But now our next target, Lucas Weber, we are up into P8 again. So a few more cars have pitted now. So we're going to go round the outside of Lucas Weber and take hold of P7. So Weber really got some sort of issue, which has allowed us to get past him easily there. So now up into P7, just a few more cars yet to stop, and then we should be in P2. And maybe we'll see how close we are to Verstappen as well when he pits as well. It should be quite interesting with the virtual safety car. I don't know how much time it's gained us, but I don't know how much time we've lost there behind those guys as well. So this could be interesting in the next couple of laps, whether we're close to Verstappen. Hopefully we're far enough away from Butler to not worry about him for the rest of the race though. But it could be a rather dull end to this race from what was so exciting at the start if we have Butler too far behind and Verstappen too far ahead. But now our teammates in the pits, so now it's our chance to try and have the best possible last sector. Are we too far behind him though to make any overtake on him in this virtual safety car window that we got? But we come around the last couple of corners there, a little bit understeery there in the penultimate corner, but now coming into the final corner, run out of ERS. So we've been using all the ERS to try and get close enough to Verstappen, but he's coming out of the pits now. You can see just ahead of us, so we haven't been able to get close enough to Verstappen, but it looks like we've shortened the gap just a little bit. You can see he's a bit closer to us now, but yeah, there you can see we're ahead of Butler. So we're meant to be pitting this lap. We actually set the session best sector 3 as well by trying to get close to Verstappen. And are we going to give chase to Verstappen now? That's what we're going to have to do, try and give chase to him. We allowed him to get into the lead of this race. He's 2.5 seconds ahead of us, so we gained quite a bit of time actually through that pit stop window. So yeah, we can be quite happy with that. We're 7.8 ahead of Devon Butler, so pulled out a massive gap to him. It's not a gap we should bottle in the last 5 laps of this race for sure. But yeah, there you can see we're hoping that Verstappen's actually got a problem, trying to figure out if Verstappen had a problem then by speaking to our engineer. But unfortunately he doesn't. But yeah, that's the only way we seem to be able to win this race. I mean, we are at a bogey track and we're trying to catch up to our teammate, and we set the personal best sector 1 and sector 2 in this lap, so our pace is a little bit better now, especially now that we haven't got the gearbox issues. But we're actually putting away from Devon Butler there. We're actually 8 seconds clear of him now, so maybe our pace isn't as bad as we once thought around this track. We seem to actually have a decent pace. Again, we understeer and go wide at that corner. They come around the next corner now to cross the line. We're going to try and see where it goes, but not setting a session best lap there. There's no purple sectors, but we set the purple lap. So that's going to give us an extra point at this race at this rate. But now we move on to the last lap of the race. Verstappen's now 7 seconds clear, so we haven't been able to make any inroads on Verstappen. But luckily for us, Butler's still 10 seconds clear, so we've actually kind of pulled out a gap to him. and yeah, lost the gap to Verstappen. So it's just sort of spread out. We've had a lonely last few laps, but we've currently getting 19 points. So that's looking good for us though in this race. A Red Bull 1-2 and our second podium in a row. So a good start to our Red Bull career. In these last few races, we're looking good to actually keep the hold of the seat for next season, which I'd imagine we'd be able to do now that we've had a win and a second place. We've had good pace as well at these tracks. And moving to Brazil and Abu Dhabi next. We should be okay in Brazil, I think. And then Abu Dhabi, I don't know how well I'll do there. It's not really a track I enjoy at all. But coming around these last few corners then of this lap, we've got the next sector 2 negotiate. We've set a personal best sector 2, but not a personal best sector 1. Perhaps trying to set another fastest lap. We don't know what kind of lap Verstappen's going to do around this time. But he's got 25 points. We've got 19. So it's going to be 44 points for the Red Bull team. Unfortunately, Butler's third though, which is going to give McLaren as many points as possible. Damage limitation for them for the battle for fourth in the constructors. We run wide again, going through the last corner, but Verstappen takes away our point. And unfortunately for us, we're going to be on 18. He's going to be on 26. But yeah, gutted to lose that point. But yeah, there we go. Second place, and a good team effort there. Pretty much given Verstappen the win in the end. So we'll take full credit for that for sure. But a good result definitely for Red Bull. Despite those gearbox issues, we managed to bring it home in second, and Butler in third. So I think a good result then for Verstappen, his first win of the season, I think. But don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. But there you go, 22 and 33 in the Red Bull, first and second, and Butler as well third. So hopefully McLaren will actually be good next season. It'll be nice to have another car up there to fight with alongside Mercedes. But they're looking quite good though, McLaren.
Now, let's discuss,
and Lando Norris though struggling a bit. He ended up in 12th despite starting 5th. Hamilton ended up 10th despite on pole, so he had a poor race in the end. Vettel up in 4th from 10th in the struggling Ferrari at the moment. So yeah, there you go. You can see Weber struggled as well. We're up into 4th, so maybe there's a chance of 3rd in this driver standings. We've got 2 races left to find out whether we can do that. Butler's overtaking Leclerc. Maybe Vettel will be able to take Leclerc as well. With a good result there for Verstappen as well. He could perhaps get involved with those in the battle for 6th, maybe 5th. But yeah, we're in 5th, so we're closing in on McLaren. So we're not actually too far behind. I think we're just 12 points behind McLaren now. Racing Point get past Toro Rosso though, but that's none of our concern anymore, having left Toro Rosso. But there you can see a massive gap from Hamilton to Weber. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the episode there, guys. Hope you enjoyed it today. Just 2 races left in the season, and then it's season 3. So hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon.